Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Cooper, food app critic for TokeMag.com. This week I have Food & Wine's Cocktail. This is an iPhone-only app. Food & Wine actually has 4 apps in total now. They have their Best Chefs in America app. They also have a wine app that's an Android exclusive, and iPhone gets the Cocktails app. This app is free. It includes 350 different cocktails, and it also includes over 100 top bars and lounges throughout the country, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. And then this app also includes some bar food and snacks that go well with the cocktails in this app. So I guess I should also mention that this is also an presentation from or sponsorship with Belvedere, the vodka company, and we've seen that in the past with some other apps. The one that we most recently reviewed was Fabio Viviani, and he had an app with Bertolli olive oil. So anyways, we've had actually good experience with that app, and so we're hoping we get the same thing with this one, and I can tell you we do. So let me break down this app for you. The main screen has 2 rows. They are big buttons, 6 items, and then there's a repetitive little tiny navigation menu at the very bottom here. So the top here, you can sort your drinks by spirit, by the type of drink, and the type of drink is classic, updated, or creative. There is cocktail tips, which are broken down into various categories. You have your food, then you have your list of top bars, and then you have your favorites. And the favorites is interesting because basically, as you go through this app, whether it's an actual cocktail or a tip, or even one of the glasses that they break down for you in terms of the shape of the glass and what it's good for and how you would use it to serve and those sorts of things, you can favorite all various types of things. So it's not just cocktails that you can favorite. So that's kind of a neat thing here. The app itself, let's just get into one of these here. If you click into the sort by spirit, there is color-coded brand symbols of the actual spirit. So, for example, brandy has a big B, and it's like a burgundy-looking color, and then it kind of explains a little bit about brandy. And if you were to click on that, then you get a list of all the brandy drinks that this app contains. To start, it shows up in these nice, beautiful-looking, colorful images, and you can just swipe throughout the image, and it shows you at the bottom here what the drink is called, as well as the type of drink that it is. So is it a classic? Is it an updated? Is it a creative? And vice versa, if you're in one of those type categories, it will give you that brandy logo on the bottom, or vodka with their vodka logo on it, to kind of indicate what alcohol is associated with that cocktail. So it's a very clean, clever. You can tell, I may be biased having worked in an editorial room before, but you could tell there were some magazine editors and some creative types who have put together nice content packages before. Seems at least that they had some input in this, because it's really well done. The information is organized just flawlessly throughout this app. You also have a list view, and again, we've seen this before, where you can just scroll up and down the different drinks. You can scrub on here up and down. This is something I mentioned in my written review, so check it out if you haven't been to the site. It's TokeMag.com. But I talk a little bit about how the scrubbing along the right here is a little inconsistent. It's not on every page where there's a list view. So I would like to see that get changed. So while I'm raving about this app so far, it's not perfect. It's pretty darn close, but not perfect. Let's go back here to the home page. Again, I mentioned drink by type. It's the same thing as drink by spirit in terms of how you would navigate. So let me dig into one of these. drinks. You get a nice little page here. It says a thumbnail at the top that you can expand to see a bigger view of it. It has this is what's really nice, it has a little button here underneath the thumbnail for the snack, and this links directly to the food that they recommend pairing with this cocktail. So that's a very nice feature. And the food recipe pages are laid out almost identical to the cocktail pages. So I won't get into the details of that and waste your time. When you're on one of these recipe pages, however, there are some hyperlinks within the recipe, and these go out to, sometimes they'll call for a mix or a syrup. These hyperlinks will then show you how to make that syrup. One thing that this app doesn't have, and this is one of the reasons it doesn't get a perfect score, is it doesn't have any videos. And you know, cocktails seem like they would be a perfect medium to do just nice, short, punchy videos, but there are none with this app. But again, I've said this a million times in past reviews, it's hard to complain when an app is free and it delivers really great content. And I should mention too that the content in this app, sponsored by Belvedere Vodka, is completely unintrusive. The Belvedere sponsorship of this app. You see a small banner on the home screen, but then it quickly disappears as you start navigating throughout this app. So that is very much appreciated from an end user standpoint. There's a share button, so you can share this via email, via text, Twitter, Facebook, all the usual stuff. I think it's Facebook. Definitely Twitter. Yeah, Facebook's on here. And what it'll do is it'll actually send a link that goes to the website recipe. So even though you may not be a subscriber to the magazine, you can still view this recipe, which is really nice. And I want to get back to that homepage really quick here and jump into the top bars. This is actually probably the weakest portion of this app, the bars aspect. It does take very nice use of the device itself. There's a map view, and it will use your location and hone in. You can see it's zooming in on where I'm located at currently, and it will show all the bars around my area as I zoom in and zoom out. I click on a bar, it will then tell me, give me some information about that bar, but it's really just a very like 1 or 2 line description of what that bar is all about. So I would like to see just a little bit more information about the bars and lounges. I think it would be perfect to include some pictures of these places. They have all these great pictures of the cocktails. I know it would be a lot of work and probably a little costly if the bar or the lounges aren't supplying the images themselves, but I think it would be well worth it, because that's part of going to a place and not making it at home, is the atmosphere that you're stepping into. So that's that part. And then the last thing I want to talk about here is the search, and this is actually at the bottom of the app, that little navigation at the bottom. There's also the tips, the cocktail tips at the bottom here, and I didn't really get into that, but it gives you some very basic descriptions of things, tips and tricks within making cocktails at home. There's also a whole section on glassware, there's a whole section on barware and what the different tools are, so that's very nice. But that's all redundant with the big buttons that are up top. The only unique button at the bottom is the search. And this is, you select the spirit, and then you can select what type, which is again classic, updated, creative, and then you select how many servings that you wish that thing to make. So if you want to make like a picture of something, that's going to be different than one of those single shot type cocktails. So you narrow, you can filter it, or you could just go up to the top and just type in, hey, I want a Bloody Mary, type it in, and boom, it'll give you the variations of Bloody Marys. When you do your filter, it's just a couple button clicks. You can hit search, nice, boring, or you could shake it and it will then give you your results. This works really well. We've seen different things like this in the past. This one works, like I said, very well. And the nice thing is when you get to the various cocktails and you do a search, you can scrub. It gives you little stars next to the ones that you have favorited in the past. Overall, this is a very nice cocktail app. So if you're constantly looking for new drinks to make, or if you have a party coming up or any kind of an occasion where you're thinking, hey, I want to mix it up, or I have some bottles that have been sitting in my cabinet for a while and you don't know what to do with them, I highly recommend downloading this app. You won't be disappointed. It's free, so it's hard to get angry at that. And it's, like I said, it's a gorgeous app. It works really well. It's easy to navigate through, and the content from the food and wine editors is just top-notch. So, saying all that, raving on this app, we've been on a pretty good winning streak lately. I am giving this a 4 out of 5. So please check it out. Let me know if you have any other cocktail or drink or wine apps that you recommend I give a look at and possibly review. Leave a comment below, and be sure to visit all the app reviews, all the videos. Go to tokemag.com, and that's going to do it until next time. Take care.